What's going on, guys? Driven to Chunk here, and we are going to be going over the Season 10 Project Diablo 2's closed beta tentative patch notes, and this is going to encompass all the changes that they've done, plus some ones that we haven't heard. We have like 54 pages of notes to get through on here. I have the dark mode for Google Docs, so hopefully that helps out, so we don't blind some people out there. I just want to say thanks again for everyone who liked the previous videos and subbed, and maybe if you guys make it through this video all the way to the end, you guys will consider subscribing if you guys haven't already, because we're going to blast on Season 10. Absolutely blast. So let's get into it real quick. General changes. Added allocated loot, which we already talked about before. It just can be toggled on or off. What this is pretty much like in Path of Exile. When items drop when you're in a party, things will be allocated to one player or the other for a certain amount of time. If that person doesn't pick it up, then it'll become free range. You can also turn this off if you just want to go normal, do the roll system, yada, yada, yada. So as I just said, pretty much explained everything there. When enabled, this mode will automatically allocate loot to party members at random. Here is everything that will be allocated. You know, runes, Lem Dazad, Worldstone shards, Catalyst shards, set items, unique items, map materials, Uber materials, larger P boxes and puzzle pieces, mirrors, light song, skeleton key, navigator, almanac, blah blah blah. So that is that's the slim and skinny of it. I wonder how jewels are gonna be, because there's some valuable jewels that drop down there. So don't see that. Jewels are still free range. Slurp away. What does this say? Party members must be within 2 screens of the monster on death to be eligible for allocated loot. Here's the little option that you check. I might be going a little fast because we do have a lot. I'm going to try not to make this too long. Anyway, moving on from allocated loot, new BattleNet command /home can be used to set a default. Here, I'll try to do this so it highlights a little bit. Can be used to set a default home channel alias. Here's how you put it in. /home channel and default channel, whatever. To set a channel home, channel name here, if you want to go home, whatever. This is just for people in general chat who want to do that. But they actually added other things in game as well that I think is a little cooler. New in-game command, no EXP, which can be used to toggle on and off to gain experience. If people want to challenge themselves with, first to declone at level 50, kind of things like that, or also for low-level dueling characters, so you can go around and you go farm low-level characters, actually, and try to find your own gear. Anyway, I guess you could have done that with another character and just go normal or what have you, but there, you can do that. New in-game command, .set-home X, which can be used to set home act you start in. So you don't have to save and exit and act 4 anymore. You can just go ahead and do .set/home 3, and then your home will be act 3 or act 1, 2, 4, 5, whatever you want. Setting it to 0 will revert it back to basic behavior. It will not send you to an act that you haven't unlocked yet. So no warp whistling. Moving on. Updated stats screen key combos. Click left shit. I was about to say click left shit. Click left or control left click. Let's try that again. Plus 5 points. Shift left click plus 20 points. Control shift plus left click, all the points. So this is just for allocating your attribute points. Okay, I swear I'll make it through this. Orbs purchased from Anya will now automatically stack. That is awesome. I don't think that was announced yet. That is super nice. So no more bing, 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 bing. Stack, 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 stack. Normal items now have lesser melee splash. This was discussed today. Splash radius reduced from 5 tiles to 3 tiles. Splash damage reduced from 100% to 75%. So really, honestly, not that much of a nerf. Anything that we have is better than, D2 Resurrected or, just vanilla D2. So this is just for normal items. And when we say normal items, that just means items that drop in normal. And I don't know if that affects uniques or things like that. I think it's just if you pick up like, a magic, broadsword or something like that, it's not going to have a max melee splash on it. So not the biggest thing in the world, but I think it's still going to be pretty just fine. Updated equipment lock behavior. It will now lock your mercenaries equipment. It will now also prevent you from socketing equipped items. So that is nice. You don't have to worry about dropping your mercenary stuff. If you can't move your mercenary things, maybe check your character to make sure his inventory isn't locked. Updated the help screen to reflect Season 10 changes. We'll go over those later. Poison/open wounds reworked to be only overwritten per source, e.g. player, mercenary, or minion. So apparently open wounds and poison weren't synergizing together, and they weren't overriding each other. And so, or one of them was, diminishing the other's value. I don't know. So open wounds no longer has a range penalty. We mentioned that one before. Primeval Soul drop rates increased by 25%, so that is nice. Honestly, just run Chaos Sanctuary, you'll just get tons of them. Curse resistance cap increased from 50% to 75%. Consolidated and reduced the amount of corruption zones. Sorry, this isn't going into dark mode. Hope it's not frying your retinas here. So with the corruption zones, after you beat hell difficulty, you get the corruption zones. They used to just be one at a time. Now they're going to be doubled up for most of them, except for like Cow Level, Arcane Sanctuary, Chaos Sanctuary, Endurance of Hate, etc., etc. But that is kind of actually nice. Worldstone Keep and Throne of Destruction are bundled into one, so that is kind of nice. But it will actually give people a chance to go to not just one area and then back out and make another game. They can just go to two if they're right next to each other. They also increased the size of a couple areas. Abaddon, Pit of Acheron, and Infernal Pit increased area by 66.6%. So I just don't know if, people are really going to go farm that. I think my biggest reason I don't do that is just because of waypoints. Why spend the time going there when I can just go to, whatever, Frigid Highlands or, Travancore and just run that, or River of Flame. I think that's kind of the biggest kicker, but, maybe we'll go check them out a little bit. Settings and menu updates. So they moved a lot of stuff around. Moved the settings that were previously in the loot filter window into the existing D2 settings menu. So all that stuff that was like in that lower left corner and things like that, that's all going to be in the center display now. So it'll help a lot of new players out trying to adjust things. You just hit escape, and then there'll be an integrated window for all the new features and stuff like that. So pretty cool that they did that. The sound effects and music volume sliders will now work independently of each other. Previously, if you lower the sound effect volume, it would also lower the music volume. So now you can choose if you want to lower sound effects, lower music, lower menu screen music, yada, yada, yada. Sound effects and music sliders now move in increments of 1% instead of 5%, so you can fine tune it a little bit more. Added sliders for main menu music. Maybe I'll turn that back on. Control M to turn that back on. Added new hotkeys for the D2GL screen, which is the graphic overlay that they have. So you can adjust that as well on a hotkey. Show item quantity, tooltip, transmute, gamble refresh. You can refresh gambling at Geeds now. And filter level hotkeys if you want. They added those. That's pretty nice. Pardon me. Let me get a little sippy sip here real quick. Delicious. Okay. Loot filter stuff. Equipped will now match on any piece of equipped gear regardless of owner. Thanks, Canzion. Canzion did a bunch of these. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but anyway, the maximum number of filter levels has been increased from 9 to 12, so you can really fine-tune that. Again, thanks, Canzion. The filters selected in the launcher will now be loaded first and will fall back on the loot.filter file if that fails. Thanks, Canzion. So it's still going to go from your original loot filter, and if you don't have that, you can adjust the generic one that comes in the PD2 mod. The hard-coded show stat ranges key. Okay. The hard-coded show stat ranges hotkey, previously control, has been removed and can now be bound in the settings menu. So another hotkey thing. The control plus R hotkey to reload loot filter has been removed. Fix an issue where color codes could sometimes be truncated improperly. Thanks, Canzion. Truncated just means like shortened, like they just didn't accurately abbreviate properly. Fixed a possible infinite loop with item name variables. Thanks, Canzion. Fix the text offset in the join game screen. Okay. Fix the potential underflow with item descriptions. Thanks, exiled again. Exiled again. Exiled the game. The game. Exile. Thank you. Performance improvements for variable substitutions. Thanks again. Exiled the game. Not sure. Anyway, moving on. Bug fixes. Fix bugs which could stop map monsters from properly spawning. I think that was going on with Desecrate. Fix the bug which caused fortified map bosses to drop double loot. That wasn't a bug. That wasn't a bug. No. I'm kidding. So they fixed that. Unfortunate. Fixed a bug which would sometimes cause the help button to keep reappearing. Okay, maybe I had that. Fixed a bug which caused F10 and F11 to not work with quick cast. Prevent all ambient sounds from playing too often. Lag reduction. So I guess like background things like crickets and frogs, they're just not gonna, overlap on each other. Fixed a bug that prevented single player character statistics command and auras from working. Guest ghost monsters from map affixes will now properly drop loot. So maybe all those affixes with, map has ghosts on it, maybe they weren't dropping loot. So that's kind of cool. And more. So there's some other stuff in there. D2 GL things going on. Common settings like HD cursor, HD text, motion prediction, item quantity, and minimap can now be changed in the in-game settings menu. That's, just exit and you'll see the option there. Looks like all the other ones. A new hotkey has been added to open the D2 GL settings menu. This can be found in configure control settings. Control O has not been removed, so you can still open D2 GL with Control O. A hotkey has been added to toggle item quantity. A hotkey has been added to allow copying of game tooltips onto your clipboard, items, skills, etc. This also requires HD text to be enabled. Thanks, Kanzion. So you can, I guess, you can set a hotkey to screen capture, more or less. So it'll capture whatever you're saying. So no more cell phone pics when people want to do item showcases. I'm sure people still will. Fix an issue that caused the quantity display to bleed through the gold dialog box. Thanks, Kanzion. Fixed an issue that caused the gold display to bleed through the belt inventory slots. Just some visual bugs, I guess. Fix the issue which could cause the screenshot hotkey to create duplicate screenshots. Thanks, Kanzion. Fixed an issue which would cause D2G minimap to be blank. That would suck. Moving on, we'll get to some of the cooler ones here soon. I'm just trying to keep it going. Launcher added an integration of the Filterbird web app to preview filters in the web launcher. Okay, so you can, where you go and choose it, like before you fire up the game, you choose your filter, and there you can preview filters here. So that's kind of cool. You can see which one it is, and then you can do all this things to see how it looks if you want it to drop like that. Blah blah blah. Moving on, maps. Skovos Stronghold added a new tier 2 map, Skovos Stronghold, made by Alma. Cool, super badass. Demon Road added another tier 2, made by Bork. That's fucking badass. The maps look really cool. I'm excited to run those. Horizon Event now sunders the map that is created, preventing monsters' resistances from exceeding 75%. Upcoming change during beta will first reduce the resistances of all monsters within the map by minus 25%. E.g., a monster at 80% native resist will drop to 55%. Monsters at 100% or more will get capped at 75%. So you won't have to worry about running into harder monsters in a Horizons event. Map bosses now have melee splash. Okay. All right. I see. So we got some mercenary changes, actually a little gaggle of them here. Okay, Act 1, reduced level 1 base damage. Reduced base damage scaling, physical mercenary, slow movement now caps at level 6 instead of 25. Magic arrow now shoots 1 projectile instead of 5. Strafe max level reduced from 30 to 31 to 23. Reworked ability level scaling. Interesting. Act 2, reduce base damage scaling slightly. Act 3, rework the ability level scaling to make Iron Wolf mercenaries weaker at early levels and similar in strength at endgame. Fire and lightning mercenaries damage increased slightly at endgame. Cold mercenary damage slightly reduced at endgame. reduced elemental mastery percentage and pierce bonuses, removed the ability to equip daggers, so no more war striking. A legendary hero, the Zinthros, will now be hired in Act 3. That's the I think he was a mod, friend of the developers who passed away. Rest in peace. Deeds will be remembered, as everyone who enjoys this game. Sad to see. I don't get on motorcycles, man. I just don't. I don't fuck with those things. Act 4, damage scaling increased in both light and dark mercenaries. Now gains life replenish per level. Interesting. Damage scaling increased for both light and dark, and gains life replenish. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because it can't have life steal because they're casting, so might as well give them something. Act 5, reduce base damage scaling slightly. So they're nerfing them, and what he said in the stream, they're just nerfing them slightly just so you don't feel like you're being carried early game by your merc so much, which I don't think that's a bad thing, but, you know, that's just me. Because I am a noob. Anyway, Ubers. A new Uber with a unique reward will be launched in Season 10. Some minor changes and fixes to D-Clone and Rathma Uber fight. So we don't get to test those in beta at all, unfortunately. So something to look forward to. PvP charms were added to the PvP arena vendor. These are roughly mid-roll charms that only work while you're within the arena. Added a PvP modifier tomb in the PvP arenas. Note this tomb can be interacted with to see the modifiers applied to the skills within the PvP arena. So PvP players getting some love. So now the fun part, we're getting into class changes and skill changes. Let us go ahead and I'll just do it one at a time. Cold Arrow, excuse me. Synergy is reduced from 20% to 17%. Maximum arrow count now caps at 12. So Cold Arrow getting a nerf, as is Fire Arrow. Synergies reduced from 21 to 18. Max arrows now cap at 14. Immolation Arrow. Synergies reworked and rebalanced to now affect both the fire explosion damage and the fire damage over time instead of one or the other. Okay, a little Immolation Arrow buff. Level 1 through 28 plus fire explosion damage scale reduced by 20%. Level 1 through 28 fire damage over time scaling reduced by 20%. Not sure. Maybe it was just a little overtuned when they changed that. Multi-shot. The 3 middle arrows now proc effects instead of the middle 2. So things should proc a little bit better. The level 1 enhancement damage bonus increased from 30% to 40%. Enhanced damage bonus per level increased from 8% to 10%. All right, multi-shot looking pretty good. Multi-shot looking all right. We are going to play an Amazon as well this season. We are going to do Druid, but we're also going to do an Amazon. Charge Strike now gains an additional charge bolt every 3 levels instead of every 5. Maximum charge bolt count now caps at 12. Lightning Fury synergy removed. Power Strike synergy increased from 5 to 8. Lightning Strike synergy increased from 5 to 8 as well. Interesting. Lightning Strike synergies reduced from 9 to 8. Strafe. Penetrate synergies increased from 10% to 12%, and that is everything for the Amazon. Interesting. Assassin, Phoenix Strike, Fist of Fire initial meteor damage synergy reduced from 16 to 14%. Claws of Thunder synergy reduced from 14% to 10%. Blades of Ice synergy reduced from 14% to 10%, and now properly shows percent elemental damage bonus in its tooltip. So interesting thing there with Phoenix Strike. I don't know anything because I don't play Assassin. Chain Lightning Sentry synergies reduced from 15% to 13%. Getting nerfies, huh? Wake of Fire level 28 plus scaling reduced from 26 to 31 to 22 to 26. Youch. Fire Blast synergies increased from 15% to 18%. Shockweb synergies increased from 15% to 16 or 17%, excuse me. Fade. Resist bonus scaling rework now provides 15% resist at level 1, gains 2% resistance per level from levels 1 through 8, and 1% from per level for levels 8 plus. Curse duration reduction capped increased from 20% to 30%. Physical damage reduction reduced from 1% every 2 levels to 1% every 3 levels. So a little bit of nerf of Fade. Fade is really good, though. It's probably still really good. Psychic Hammer abilities. Synergies increased from 15% to 20%. Mind Blast, they changed that. Now gains increased area of effect with consecutive casts, so it grows as you use it. I still don't know if it holds the last previous cast size, so you can like cast and then save the big one if you wanted. Cobra Strike. Second charge life and mana steal per level increased from 5% to 10%. He said he did a lot of stuff with his next one, Fist of Fire. He said Fist of Fire is actually really good. Fixed several damage bugs. No longer incorrectly carries weapon damage on its elemental stacks. Now properly applies elemental damage on several attacks. Charge 1, level 16 to 22. Scaling increased from 6 to 7 to 10 to 15. I'm not going to read all these. We got too much stuff to cover. Anyway, so they just they buffed the charges for Fist of Fire. Phoenix Strike synergy replaced with Dragonflight synergy. Now properly shows a % fire damage bonus in its tooltip. So buff overall or rework to Fists of Fire. Dragon Talon. Base enhanced damage bonus increased from 30% to 50%. Enhanced damage per level increased from 20% to 25%. Dragon Tail synergies increased from 18% to 22%. Dragon Flight synergy increased from 18% to 22%. Okay. Tail and Flight. I was like, did I just reread the same thing? Moving on. Dragon Claw synergies increased from 14% to 20%. Claws of Thunder. Third Strike reworked to send down bolts of lightning at enemies struck by the charge bolts. Phoenix Strike synergy replaced with Dragon Claw. Now properly shows a % lightning damage in its tooltips. Blades of Ice. Charge 2 and Charge 3 attacks have been completely reworked. One throws little ice bolts and the other is the Bale Wave that shoots. Phoenix Strike synergy replaced with Tiger Strike. Now properly shows % cold damage in tooltips. And that is everything for the Assassin so far. Barbarian. Woo! We got some chunky Barbarian stuff. Okay. Battle Cry duration increased from 8 to 12 seconds. War Cry, Howl synergies increased from 15 to 16%. Battle Cry synergies increased from 15 to 16. Okay. Berserk, % physical damage or minus physical damage reduction penalty, while Berserking now caps at -10 from -20. So yeah, some defense buffs. Minus defense penalty reduced from 100% to 25%. Wow, Berserk's going to be strong. Be very tanky. Enhanced damage per level increased from 18% to 20%. Badass. Concentrate. Attack rating per level bonus increased from 15% to 20%. Bass synergy increased from 20% to 25%. Battle command synergies increased from 20% to 25%. Double swing. Base enhanced damage bonus increased from 20% to 25%. Enhanced damage bonus per level, 20% to 25%. Attack rating bonus per level increased from 12 to 15. So just general buffs. What do we got for Frenzy? Double swing synergies increased from 15 to 20%. Stun synergies, 15 to 20%. Attack rating bonus increased from 10% to 12%. Base attack rating bonus increased from 20% to 30%. Throw mastery has been reworked to ranged mastery, and this will now apply to bows, crossbows, and throwing weapons. Note, we will not be adding bow skills to barbarians. This is just for your niche meme users. Okay, so all your bonuses from your throw stuff will actually go on, your bows and crossbows. So you can have a wind force barb or something. Maybe, I don't know. Can you use? Yeah, it's a Hydra bow. So why couldn't you? Whirlwind. Fixed a bug that caused Whirlwind's range to cap at 2 instead of the other variables for having a spear or a larger weapon. So I think it can go up to 4 now. Changed a bug where Whirlwind to prioritize, or changed Whirlwind to prioritize targeting the closest enemy, and it will try not to hit the same enemy twice. It will try to, jump between all the enemies that haven't been hit unless you are just single targeting. And that's it for Barbarians. Berserk got a big buff. Moving on to Druid. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to take a little sippy sip here real quick. Delicious. Okay. Hunger. Deadly Strike bonus changed to Open Wounds chance and Open Wounds damage. Hunger now has a Maul synergy. Okay. Maul damage per charge increased from 40% to 50%. Werewolf based enhanced damage bonus reduced from 30% to 20%. Enhanced damage bonus per level reduced from 8% to 4%. Woo! Yeah, Fury Druid getting a little bit of a nerf, it looks like. Fury enhanced damage per level reduction, yeah, 10% to 8%. Feral Rage synergy reduced from 8% to 6%. Yeah, so Fury Druid getting some nerfs. Shockwave. Tornado synergy removed. Werebear synergy increased from 18% to 22. Twister synergy increased from 18 to 22. Base damage increased from 8 to 14 to 10 to 16. Level scaling, again, I'm not going to go through this. They just buff up the level scaling for Shockwave. And yeah, so they want people to play a little Shockwave, it looks like. Summon Spirit Wolf. Summon Grizzly synergy removed. Werewolf synergy removed. Raven synergy increased 6 to 9%. Giggity. Direwolf synergy increased from 6 to 9%. Giggity. And then the damage scaling as well for Summon Wolf. It looks like they're just trying to make it so you don't have to dump points into, I guess, shape-shifting skills and things if you're trying to go Summoner. Base run speed increased by 20%. It's kind of good. Summon Direwolf. Summon Grizzly energy removed. Same thing. Removed the shape-shifting thing here. Werewolf from it. A Raven synergy increased from 4 to 6%. Summon Spirit Wolf synergy increased from 4 to 6%. Damage scaling increased from 7.7 to 8.8. Base run speed increased by 20% again. Summon Grizzly. Grizzly health percent per level increased from 2% to 8%. Whoa. Maximum resistance resist increased from 80% to 85%. Summon Direwolf synergy removed. Werebear synergy removed. That's nice. And then the damage scaling per level going up for it. So Summon Grizzly is going to be tanky. Fireclaw. This is what I want to look for. It looks like they just increased the overall flat damage, fire damage that you get from it per level. Interesting. Oak Sage can now be hit by AoE damage and projectiles. Uh-oh, they're targetable now? What? No. 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 Don't make them targetable again. No. I don't want to have to keep resummoning. Same thing, Spirit of Barbs can be targetable. AoE damage projectiles, Heart of the Wolverine, Poison Creepers, AoE damage and projectiles, Solar Creepers, Carrion Vine. No, dude, no. Why did people have to exploit Poison Creeper and they're unkillable? And bummer. All right, well, it is what it is. Okay, Necromancer not getting a whole lot, but kind of important stuff, I guess. Bone Spear hitbox size increased from 1 to 3, so that's just going to be a bulldozer. Bone Armor now gets 10% defense levels per hard point while active. Blood Golem synergies reduced from 50% to 12%. Note, all 5 Blood Golems may now stack their bleed on a single target with the open wounds and slash poison changes. Okay, so they won't be overriding them. Those stack. Very cool. I get a little bit going on here with Paladin. Let's see what we got. Smite base damage enhanced from or increased from 40% to 65%. Enhanced damage per level increased from 20% to 25%. Now gains crushing blow effect per level or efficiency per level. Now has 5% chance of crushing blow at level 1 and gains 1% per base point. Damn. Smite looking smiterific. Charge just fixed some several bugs, improved functionality. Now properly uses attack speed during swing animation. Okay. Move speed unaffected. Zeal enhanced damage per level increased from 20% to 25%. Vengeance synergies now apply to both flat elemental damage from items as well as applying to flat skill damage. Base chain chance increased from 20% to 25%. Maximum chain chance increased from 90% to 95%. Okay. They made a new effect, so things like, hit a little bit more. It's kind of a bigger AoE thing for Vengeance. They reworked it. It's actually good. Holy Sword. Enhanced damage to demons and undead per level reduced from 10% to 7%. Now functions like Holy Shield and can be pre-buffed. Holy Sword will stay active without a two-handed sword equipped, but will only apply its bonus when a two-handed sword is equipped. Okay, so it's still only for two-handed swords. The last time it read a little different. What's going on here? Why does it keep doing that? It read a little differently. So I guess it's like when you have to like swap to do your your call to arms and stuff like that, rebuff, and swap back, it'll still be applied. Okay. Holy Bolt synergies increased from 9% to 10%. Still slapping. Sanctuary. Might synergy increase from 8% to 9%. Everything, all the synergies are getting increased by 1%. And then the radius is getting increased as well. And they're buffing Sanctuary, dude. We did work with Sanctuary last season, so it's only going to get better. Thorns, I'm curious about this one. Now provides 15% chance to apply open wounds at level 1. Now gains 1% chance to apply open wound every 3 levels. Now provides open wounds damage. Half of Thorns reflect damage has been converted to open wounds damage. 15% chance to apply. Okay. I wonder, like, does this include your actual your already open wounds percentage that you have, like, say, some of the jewels in your gear or something? Not sure. Conviction, reduced level 1 radius by 18%. Okay, utility and party auras. Radius scaling is now increased with base level instead of soft. Okay, so that's a nerf, right? Because it's base instead of soft points. Moving on. Sorceress. Blizzard, cooldown reduced from 1 second to 0.9 seconds. Teleport, level 1 to 16. Scaling reduced from minus 2% damage penalty to minus 1%. Damage minimum penalty now increased from 0% to minus 15%. Energy shield is no longer removed when reaching 0 mana. Blaze now has phasing, which will allow you to run through monsters without collision. That is very cool. It's a very cool effect. It also procs your strike stuff, I'm pretty sure. Or no. Casting? I'm not sure. It procs other shit, though, for sure. Or maybe he just had innocence on it. I can't remember. You guys will just have to check it out. Corruptions, sockets. They changed some of the values here. Sockets, armor socket chances change from 18% for 1 socket, 5% for 2 sockets, 2% for 3 sockets. They changed it to 12% for 1 socket, 7% for 2 sockets, and then 6% for 3 sockets. So hopefully a lot less 1 socket punching holes and stuff, and a lot more 3 socket and stuff. That's very cool. One-handed weapon sockets, they changed from 10% for 1 socket, 8% for 2 sockets, 4% for 3 sockets, 3% for 4 sockets. Okay, that's one-handed. To 12% for 2 sockets, 7% for 3 sockets, 6% for 4 sockets. One-handed weapons and shields minimum socket roll increase from 1 to 2. So no more punching holes in weapons. You will actually get, sorry about my mic, we'll actually get 2 sockets every time. That's pretty good. Two-handed weapon socket chances change from 6% for 1 socket, 5.5% for 2 sockets, 4.5% for 3 sockets. You can read all this, blah, 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 blah. Get lower and lower to get max sockets. They changed it to 7.5% for 3 sockets, 7% for 4 sockets, 6% for 5 sockets, and 5.5% for max sockets. And then the minimum number of sockets rolled increased from 1 to 3. So you don't even have to worry about punching 2 holes in a 2-handed weapon. You're always going to get 3. That's pretty badass. That's a huge change in my opinion. Okay, affixes. Let's see what they changed. Weapon affixes. Plus 100 to 250 attack rating increased from 150 to 250. Plus 200 to 300 attack rating placed with minus 40 to minus 60 target defense per hit. Minus 5 to minus 10% enemy elemental resistance mod changed from minus 7%. So they're just raising the minimums, it looks like. Quivers, 10% reduced curse duration replaced with 10% curse resistance. Plus 20 health increased to plus 30 to 40. Helms, plus 10 to 20 replenished life increased to 20 to 30. That's cool. Gloves, 10 to 15% regenerate mana increased to 20 to 30% regenerate mana. 2 to 4 mana after each kill increased 3 to 4. Yeah, they're just raising the minimums on a lot of this stuff, which is just kind of nice. Shields, 15% to 25% regenerate mana replaced with 30 to 40 life. plus 22 to 30% resistance, reduced to 20 to 25. So they have reduced resistances on shields. Interesting. Plus 6% physical damage reduction, increased to 6 to 8. That's nice. Rings. 2 to 3% physical damage reduction, increased to just plus 3. So it's just always 3 now. Huh. 2 to 40 life, increased to 30 to 40. 5 to 10 strength, dex, vitality, energy, increased to 7 to 10. So they're just raising the lower end of the variables. Chest, 6% chance, or blah, blah, sorry, my brain's not working. 6% physical damage reduction, increased to 6 to 8. 15 to 20 all res, increased to 20 to 25. Regenerate mana, replaced with 30 to 40 mana. So bye-bye regenerate mana. Amulets, tier 2 replenish life mod removed. Tier 3, 10% increased chance of blocking move to Tier 2. Added 10% curse resistance corruption to Tier 3. 1 to 2 max res increased to just 2%. So no more one max res stuff. That's crazy. All resistances, 5 to 10 increased to 7 to 10. Minimum's getting raised. And again, minimum's getting raised on stats. 5 to 8 getting increased to 6 to 8. Belts. Belts. 5 to 10 to max strength, dex, vitality, energy, increased to 7 to 10. 1 to 2 max all resistances, increased to just 2. 10% reduced curse duration, increased to 20%. 2 to 3 physical damage corruption reduction, increased at 3 to 4. Boots. 10% reduced curse duration, increased to 20%. Now properly spawn with their 10% faster block corruption, 10% increased faster run walk, increased to 15%. 2 to 3 physical damage corruption reduction, increased to 3 to 4. Okie dokie. Gonna have to give me a sec here, guys. Sorry, I'm having to cut this part, splice it together because I've had to do some phone stuff. My girlfriend's friend is having a major surgery, and we're hoping for the best, but it's not a good situation. So it's unfortunate. Hoping for the best and everything like that. So let's go ahead and continue on with the patch notes for season 10. Man, life's weird, man. You know, this game's old, and so are we, and we're at that age where we're all kind of dropping like flies. But enjoy the time while you're here, man. I'm going to play season 10. You know, I don't know how long the ride is, but I'm going to try to enjoy myself while I'm on the ride. Let's go ahead. I think we left off on items. So crossbow animation speeds updated. Below numbers are in frames. Roughly reduce the difference between bows and crossbows by half. Might require a small update to crossbow damage values. We'll evaluate during beta. So over here we have vanilla bows and crossbows over here. As you see what their ranges were for animation speeds. And really just bows were just too slow. You know, people just didn't like using crossbows because they were slow for things, whether it's for rune words or, you know, things like Bariza or whatever. But here's the new values. I'll let you guys see them over here and read them out for you. So they kind of split the difference. You know, they're trying to make them a little more competitive with bows, at least. So yeah, crossbows might be in the shakeup of things. Coming down into uniques. Unique one we've seen before is Titan's Grip. Titan's Grip is Bramble Mitts, 20% faster block rate, 70% chance of blocking, enhanced defense, 120 defense missiles, lightning resist, half freeze duration, level 42 item. Cool art. Got to shout out all the custom art that they do for these things. Wraith Skin. Wraith Skin is level 54 item. 20% increased attack speed, 10% maximum deadly strike. Interesting, maximum deadly strike. I think the cap of deadly strike is like 75 or something like that. So, yeah, this just raises it a little bit. Enhanced defense, increased life minus 10. A lot of curse resistance, 39%, or can roll to 40 curse resistance. Interesting. Twilight's Reflection, new shield. This is a level 48 item. 6% chance to cast level 14 Cloak of Shadows on block. Minus enemy physical resistance, 20% chance of blocking, 29% reduced curse duration, enhanced defense, and curse resistance, and lightning res. Next up is the Helm Den Mother. Can roll to 1 to 3 sockets. It's going to get some custom art during the beta, I guess. This is just a placeholder. Level 58 item, +2 to druid skills. You may now summon 2 additional grizzlies. You can no longer summon wolves, so you can summon, I think it's 4 grizzlies. 20% FCR, 3 to summon grizzlies, 3 to maul, enhanced defense, replenish life up to 35, and some gold find. Ebonbane is a Grand Matron bow, which I guess they're right. There wasn't any unique Grand Matron bows that I can remember. I can't think of any. So anyway, this one has 12% chance to cast level 16 weakness, +4 to passive and magic skills, can roll up to 5. 20% faster run walk, which is nice. 50% IAS, can go up to 290 enhanced damage. 3 to evade, 2 to dodge, slows targets by 25%. Not bad. Here we have Shatterblade. Shatterblade is the new kind of cold weapon, it looks like. This is level 65. What was it? Okay, yeah, so the bow was 63. All right, so anyway, moving on. Shatterblade, 65. 18% chance to cast level 33 Ice Blast on striking. 15% chance to cast level 28 Ice Barrage when you kill an enemy. +2 to cold skills. Could roll up to 280 enhanced damage. 25 minimum damage. Can roll up to -25% cold res. That's badass. 20% deadly strike, which is nice. Freeze targets +2. -100 to monster defense per hit. Pretty badass. I could see this being pretty okay for a like a Holy Freeze charge or something like that. You know, something goofy. Moving on, they reworked Dragon Scale. 24% chance to cast level 45 Hydra on block. 20% chance of blocking, fire damage, up to 20% fire skill damage, enhanced defense, 25 strength, up to 6 max fire res, and up to 25% physical damage taken reduced. So that's pretty big. And here are some changes to items. So Guardian Angel, +1 to paladin skills, replace +1 to all skills. Guardian Angel, I'm pretty sure has like it doesn't have like a bunch of max res on it or something like that, but it was like paladin only. So interesting on that one. Pretty sure thinking of that one. Hope I'm not thinking of Dark Glow. Pretty sure there's a paladin. Yeah, no, this one's like the whatever, the Hellforge armor looking stuff. Anyway, moving on. Odyssean's Awakening. Energy Shield, while equipped, will now have proper absorb efficiency. Tempest. Energy Shield, while equipped, will now have proper absorb efficiency. Hawkmail. 2 to 3 Ravens. Druid only replace 2 to 3 Ravens open skill. So anyone can have Ravens now. Sparkling Mail. 1 to 30 lightning damage increased 1 to 45. Yeah, not much. Venom Ward, 45 to 75 poison resist reduced to 40 to 60, a little too much. +10 maximum poison res changed to 5 to 8% roll. -5 to 15% enemy poison resistance reduced as -6 to -12%. Heavenly Garb, level 1 Sanctuary now rolls between 2 to 4. Man, Sanctuaries, you know, you can make a really cheap, you know, Sanctuary Paladin with this one. Really cheap. I had a good time with Sanctuary Season 9. Moving on, Spirit Forge. 10 to 25% fire resistance increased to 20 to 30%. 2 throw, 260 to 350 open wounds damage changed to 300 to 350. Crowcaw. 20 to 30% chance to pierce increased to just flat 30. +30 to dexterity reduced to +20 to 30. +15% increased attack speed increased to 20%. Duriel Shell, +1 life per character level increased to +1 or to 1.5 per character level. Cahagan's Wisdom, 15 to 25 energy increased to 20 to 30. Plus 3 to mana to kill reduced to plus 2. Corpse Reborn plus 20 to corpse explosion increased to 40. Interesting. Very interesting for that. Ormus Robe. Uh-oh, what we got here? Ormus Robe, 40% faster cast rate reduced to 30. Oof. 12 to 15% elemental damage rolls reduced to 10 to 15. Yeesh. Even harder to get those good rolls. Ormus proc skill level reworked to base. Skill require 6 out of 6. I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at here, but so interesting. Huh. Proc skill level reworked to base. Not sure. Maybe someone can explain that to me. Cooldown base skills procs chance have been reduced to 66% of the rate of other skills. So Ormus Robe getting a nerf for sure. Still Carapace, just enhance the defense all around. I really like Still Carapace. It's really good armor. Just requires a lot of strength to wear. Dark Abyss, plus 2 to all skills reduced to plus 1. Is Dark Abyss the declone armor? I think so. Wall of the Eyeless, plus 2 to 5 mana after each kill increased to 3 to 5. Radamant Sphere, 5% chance to cast level 35 Poison Nova when struck increased to 12. Plus 30 increased chance of blocking increased to 35. Medusa's Gaze, 25 to 40% faster cast rate increased to 30 to 40. Dark Force Spawn, 1 to 2 curses increased to 2 to 3. 1 to 2 summons increased to 2 to 3 as well. Homunculus, get some stuff too. 3 to 5 mana after each kill just increased to flat 5. 25 to 35 all res increased to 30 to 40. So Homunculus getting a little care there. Bone Flame, 20% faster run walk increased to 30. Vamp Gaze, what do we got? 6 to 8% life stolen per hit, 6 to 10. Same with the mana. PDR 15 to 20 is now increased to 20 to 25. Vamp Gaze, you know, I always liked Vamp Gaze, so that's pretty sick. Lightning Res on Black Horn's face, 15% is now increased to 20 to 30. Crown of Thieves, 30 to 65 MF getting increased to 40 to 65, bringing up the bottom end. And Dariel's Visage, 20% increased FCR getting 30, plus 10 maximum poison resistance reduced to 8. Giant Skull, 40 to 80% ED and increased to 60 to 80% ED. That's nice. Nightwing's Veil, cold skill damage 8 to 15% to cold skill damage increased to 10 to 15. Crown of Ages, 1 to 3 sockets increased to 2 to 3 sockets. So no more 1 socket Crown of Ages. Awesome. Kira's Guardian, 25 to 45 all res reduced to 25 to 40. Wolf Howl, 3 to 5 Feral Rage increased to 4 to 6. Same for Werewolf, raised it to 4 to 6. Strength increased to 10 to 15. Dexterity increased 10 to 15. Summon Dire Wolf increased 12 to 15. So Wolf Howl getting a little bit of a buff. Raycor's Virtue, the Barb Helm, 2 to 5 mana stolen per hit increased to 5 to 8. 15 to 25 Dexterity increased to 20 to 30. Spirit Keeper, Light Absorb, 6 to 10 Light Absorb reduced to 4 to 6. 10 to maximum poison res reduced to 5 to 8. Ursa's Nightmare, you cannot lifesteal when above 65% maximum life reduced to 60. So they nerfed that a little bit. Right? This should make the final breakpoint of melee splash more accessible as melee splash points are every 20. Oh, okay, never mind. So that's giving you another breakpoint of the melee. Okay, so it's not a nerf. I found one of those last season and I bricked it. So Overlord's Helm, declone item, minus 10 to 15 enemy physical resistance, reduced to just minus 10. Ooh, plus 20 to strength, increased 20 to 30. Mage Fist, regenerate mana 10 to 25 has been increased 15 to 25. Drax Grass getting a strength buff, 10 to 20 is now 20 to 30. Hotspurs, 5 to 10 maximum fire res reduced to 4 to 6. 45% fire resistance reduced to 20 to 30. Treads of Cthon, 10 to 20 pierce is now just 20% pierced. Inferno Strides, 15% chance to cast level 16 Blaze when struck, increased to 18%. So if you use those, you'll get that phase while using them, the new adjustment. Gore Riders, 15% deadly strike increased to 15 to 20. Interesting. Shadow Dancers, 15 to 20 dexterity increased to 20 to 30. Requirements, minus 20 increased to minus 25. Razor Tail, plus 15 is now 15 to 20. Defense, plus 50. These ones are all kind of just low level items. Oh, there comes a good one for you. Not this one, but the next one. Gloom's Trap, 10% faster cast rate increased to 1 to 20. Or 10 to 20. Oh, interesting. So now Gloom's Trap, huh? Interesting. Okay, here it is, guys. Arachnid's Mesh, 15 to 20% faster cast rate, reduced to 10 to 20% faster cast rate. So it's gonna make those perfect slammed FCR Arachnid Mesh belts a little harder to come by, that's for sure. You'll actually be able to sell a plus 15 probably for a more decent price, believe it or not. Wow, I did not see that one coming. Anyway, Band of Skulls, physical damage taken reduced 10 to 15%, reduced to 10%. Nokazan's Relic, plus 10 maximum fire res, reduced to 4 to 8. And then plus 25 to 50% fire reduced. Like, I don't, like, we had to nerf Nakazan's fucking Relic. Maybe people were just doing some, low level declone cheese with it or something, I guess. But man, Nokazan's, yeah. Crescent Moon, 1 to 2 cold skills now is just 2. Cat's Eye, 20% increased attack speed is now increased to 30%. That's awesome. Wisp Projector, the MF, is getting returned to its original values from 10 to 15% to now back to 10 to 20%. That's fair. Hellslayer, excited to try this one. Plus 25 life removed, and they put 25 to 35% enemy fire res. Death Cleaver, plus 5 maximum deadly strike chance. Interesting. And doesn't Death Cleaver have deadly strike per level? Maybe I think I'm thinking of Head Striker. So yeah, the plus, yeah, here it is. Yeah, the plus % deadly strike per level of Head Striker has been reduced to 0.7%, 0.75%, whatever. But it did get added with plus 10 to 15% maximum deadly strike chance. So, because you could, when you get leveled up with Head Striker, you would get more deadly strike than you would need. I think I'm pretty sure it caps out at 75%. So now you get more deadly strike. Anyway, moving on. Razor's Edge, 50% deadly strike reduced to 40%. 50% chance of open runes increased to 60. Jade Talons, 1 to 2 martial arts skills is now 2 to 3. 1 to 2 Shadow Discipline increased to 2 to 3. Bone Slayer Blade, 8 to 12 to Zeal, open skill increased to 10 to 12. 65% chance to cast level 30 Holy Bolt when struck, changed to 20%. Oh, okay, yeah. 65% chance to cast level 30 Holy Bolt when struck. It has now been changed to 20% chance to cast level 30 Holy Bolt on striking. Which honestly, I think is kind of, you could make something kind of around that a little bit. Like level 30 Holy Bolt's good, That's not bad. Okay, moving on. Storm Rider, 10% chance to cast level 25 Chain Lightning on striking, increased to 14%. Mage Slayer, level 3 to 6 concentration aura removed, as we talked about, because people were using the iron golems for it just to cheese a cheap pride. People kind of aren't stoked on that, but it is what it is. Add 10 to 15% physical damage reduction. Add 10 to 25 damage is what it is. Wind Force, plus 25 dexterity increased to 20. 8% chance to cast level 35 Twister increased to 12. 1.6 maximum damage per level increased to just flat 2. So, Wind Force back? I don't know. Hell Rack, 2 to 5 sockets increased to 3 to 5. Skull Collectors, 8% chance to cast a level 12 Bone Armor on casting, changed to 2% chance to cast level 25 Bone Armor on casting. 28 or Stalker's Coal. This is the last item change for now. 280 to 330, changed to 230 to 280. They reduced Stalker's Coal a little bit. And here are some rune word changes that we got going on. Starting with Infinity. 50% chance to cast level 20 Lightning on kill has been changed to 25% chance to cast level 20 Chain Lightning on striking. Spear and polearm version only. For the staffs, 15% chance to cast level 20 Lightning on casting has changed to 15% chance to cast level 20 Chain Lightning on casting. Huh? 15%. Oh, okay, not lightning, chain lightning. They're just adding chain lightning. That's for the staffs only. Innocence now attacks at the proper frame rate equal to the breakpoints attack speed of Blade Shield. So it's a nerf, I guess, kind of. I'm sure it's still going to kick ass. Rapture, the new 6-socket hammer rune word using Vex, Jaw, Low, Ral, Mal, or Ral, Ko, Mal. That's a little expensive. But anyway, this rune word gives 14% chance to cast a level 46 Fissure on striking. 30% chance to cast level 35 Low Resist on striking. That's awesome. 20% chance increased attack speed. 280 ED, ignores target's defense, 5 to 30 fire damage, 7% mana stolen but hit, 40% deadly strike, prevent monster heal, 10 to dexterity, some cold res, and some gold fine, and 50% damage to undead. Pretty badass. It's just, it's going to be hard for Fireclaw to use this just due to the fact that you need so much attack speed. So, anyway, moving on. Purity. 3-socket polearm, staff, bow, crossbow. It's a low-level rune word. Ethol. Only require level 25. This one has a level 10 prayer aura. Can go up to 12. 45% increased attack speed. Up to 145 enhanced damage. Minus target defense by 25. Damage to demons. Attack radiant demons. 30% reduced curse duration. Some cold damage and lifesteal. Set items are getting some changes, actually. So, Talrash's Guardianship. Magic damage taken reduced by 10 to 17, increased to 12 to 18. 50 to 80% better chance of getting magic items increased to 60 to 90. So, going up on that one. Trang's set. The scales, the armor, 1 to 2 blood warp, necromancer only increased to 2 to 3. Natalia's armor, shadow, plus 1 to life per character level increased to 1.5. Berserker's Huberk, 3.5 enhanced ED per level. Complete set bonus reduced to just 3. Berserker's Hatchet, plus 1 to barbarian skills. Complete bonus replaced with plus 1 to maximum damage per level. Infernal Spire, re-added 150% enhanced damage to undead. Death Touch, 25% ED increased to 60 to 90. Jeez. Death's Hand, 74% poison length reduced to 45%. Yeah, people were using that for Rathma a lot. Severb's Ward, 21 to 22 to mana. Replaced with 10% physical damage reduction. Interesting. Cathan Seal, plus 10 to maximum damage. 4 items changed to 3 items. Angelic Sickle, added 12 to maximum damage. Milibrega's Rod, 12% chance to cast level 6 Frost Nova on striking. 3 items changed to 2 items. Milibrega's Robe, 100% enhanced defense. 2 items is no longer a set bonus, is now a natural stat on the item and rolls between 60 and 100%. 14% chance to cast a level 5 Frost Nova on striking. 3 items changed to 2 items. Tanker's Spine, 20 to 30 enhanced damage increased to 30 to 45. Tankard's Weird, 1 to 15 lightning damage. Wilhelm's Pride, 100% damage to demons. 3 increased to 150. Magnus's Skin, 100% increased damage to undead, increased to 150. Dark Ardent, 5% chance to cast level 18 Bone Armor on struck, 3 items. Naj's Puzzler, 6 to 45 lightning damage increased to 6 to 450. Yeah, some of these changes are just kind of, I'm not sure, kind of weird. Weird as in, like, I don't know, never thought of adding more damage to the Puzzler, right? You know what I mean? Griswold's complete set, 30% faster hit recovery removed. Why you gotta do that? Griswold's Honor, +2 defensive skills, 2 items, set bonus, no longer a set bonus, and is now a natural stat on the item. Oh, interesting, on the shield. Added 30% faster hit recovery on set bonus. Oh, there it is. So they moved it. So bonus recovery is now just on the 2 item set bonus. Interesting. Immortal King, IK. All the damage is just getting a buff from 150 to 200 to now it's 175 to 225 for enhanced damage, damage demons, damage to undead. Once again, has indestructible. Currently bugs when ethereal and will not be fixed this season. So this is a temporary solution. So it's just indestructible all the time. Not bad. Mavina's True Sight, 15% to fire skill damage reduced to 5%. Mavina's Icy Clutch, 15% to cold damage reduced to 5% as well. And is that it? Is that it? Looks like that's it. Man, brutal. So anyway, this is a long ass video. It was a lot of changes. Thanks for everyone for sticking around if you did this long. Excited to get going. I don't know if I'm gonna play too much of the closed beta. I gotta do stuff, but thanks for sticking around, and I hope I did an okay job going over all these patch notes, because there was a lot of them. We're gonna be playing Druid and Amazon this coming up season, and I did do a Fire Druid build with just some of the leftover gear, and or not Fire Druid, excuse me, Fire Claw, and it was pretty fun. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this video is already way too long. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Appreciate it.